Hello, I'm Michael. I study Maths, Geography and English Literature at A-level.
And I'm Sarah, and I study Maths, English Literature and IT at A-level. We interviewed Mrs Riley about her childhood in post-war Burnley.
We took part in the project because we thought it was fascinating to learn stories from other generations and how they were passed down.
Hope you enjoy the video.
Yes, I'm Mrs Riley, and I live in a small village of Great Harwood. Where had the rope on the gas mantle, yeah. And the man had come round and from the council, put the mantle in, and then he'd come round to light it during the night. It'd be on all night, and then they'd turn them off, and they had a little lever where you could turn them off. And on the gas lamp they had I suppose it was to put his ladder against. It was all made of iron, these gas lamps, and they used to, as I say, put his ladder against that and climbed up to turn it off. And we used to put a rope round there, fasten a rope round, and we'd put a big knot in it and sit on it, and we'd start going faster, going round on the pavement, and then we'd swing right round. And when we got to where the rope couldn't go any further, then we'd push ourselves out, and then we could swing round, you see, and that were our entertainment. Just playing in the street, which children can't do now. There were cobbled back streets, and in between there was what you call gas tar. What they do, they use gas tar to do the tarmac now, but this was like liquid tar in a big container, and they used to come round, the council used to come round with this big machine and put gas tar in between all the cobblestones. Now in winter it was alright, it was solid, but in summer, well, we used to get full of gas tar because we used to play with it. And because it used to melt, you see, and we'd be knelt down and used to have gas tar on our dresses and on our fingers, and so we used to play with that as well. Sort of cigarette cards. Of course, I was only young, I can't. And what they did, they skimmed them against the wall, and we used to watch the boys do this, and then they'd swap. Like children do now with their football cards, don't they? And so they used to skim them against the wall, and then the other boy, he'd skim one, and if it landed on top, he could keep it. So then there was the top and whip, which we used to have, and we'd colour it in different colours, and then as you whipped it, all the fascinating colours. That was one that all the girls played. Invariably it used to go around and it'd finish up in a nick and it'd stop swirling there. We got a puppy when I was about 4, called it Mickey. I like took the dog on as mine. It was my dog, it was my pet, and I taught it how to march, and like the horses do, you know. I used to march, and I used to take it everywhere. And Mickey used to also hold a skipping rope. He used to come and ask, "Are you playing out?" And I'd say, "No, I'm not playing out," but Mickey would come out, and he'd say, "Well, come on, Mickey," and of course he used to skip in the street, and Mickey would hold the end of the rope, while the other girl held one, and then one girl would skip in the middle, and Mickey would do this. And then we'd come out, I'd come out, and I'd join in. "Right, Mickey, come on, you skip," and Mickey would jump there and skip, you know. And it was a highlight really with the children, with the dog, you know. Top of the street, there was a high wall, and we used to play on that wall, and the lodge was at the back, belonging to the paper mill. The paper mill, a huge lodge. We shouldn't have been playing on it, but we did. And over that lodge was the viaducts, and of course we used to skimmer across on the pipe underneath, across and get to the side where the paper mill were, and where there was buildings where all the men worked for the paper mill. And there was about 6 separate lodges, man-made lodges, bricked in squares, and the children sometimes used to go and take the dinners for the dad, and they'd walk across the walls, and there were a couple of children got drowned, but there were no law about anybody going on there. But we used to play on this open lodge, the big lodge, and we'd entertain ourselves with sticklebacks, and there used to be a lot of sticklebacks, fish, down, and we'd play with them, we'd put them in jam jars, and it became a tip on the other side, where all the rats used to, congregate. But Mickey used to come with us, and Mickey would have a swim in the lodge, and we'd have a ball, and the dog used to go across with the ball on his nose, and then my friends, boys and girls, used to play at which rat could get to the other side quickest, that was just to entertain ourselves, They made a film in our street, at the top of our street, and they made a film called Man in the White Suit with film star Alec Guinness. And as far as I can remember, I was one of the children that were playing marbles at the top of the street there with some more boys that live round about. And of course we were all excited about this because there were big cameras all over the street, and we didn't see anything like that because there were no cars as such, only for the wealthy people,